Hi, my name is Candace Lynch, and today I'm going to talk to you about my homework one for generative AI. Allow me to share my screen. So, for this assignment in particular, I use Claude and OpenAI to complete the assignment. I'm just very comfortable with using ChatGPT on a daily basis, and I am subscribed to a premium package for that. So I kind of used both. Initially, my prompt I asked it to create a short draft, and I copied and pasted the entire assignment into ChatGPT and allowed it to generate all of the steps that I needed to take. So I asked it to introduce me. I told it the problem that I wanted to talk about and explain the ways that Gen AI could help. So I'm going to actually just show you right here. Here we have my folder. As you can see, I do have this git ignore here because I'm on a Mac and I wanted to ignore like one of the senseless files that was going to come along with it. But I do have my README here, my assistant draft, and then my final version. I have my README, which I have edited a few times at this point. And it just outlines the different steps that I use. So I created the local folder on my desktop. And I actually made a mistake with that because I added an extra layer on my desktop. I had a folder within a folder. And so after I finished creating everything, it was hard for me to remember why the map kept failing when I was mapping the drives. But thankfully, ChatGPT told me, hey, your file destinations are not the same. So that made sense. So I was able to remove the other layer and quickly just route it. So I created those required markdown files. I added and committed the initial repository setup. I used a coding assistant for the first draft. I copied that draft in. I pushed the files. I felt really confident pushing those files and committing. And so the issue that I actually chose to tackle has to do, and you'll see that it's changed from from the assistant to the final. Initially, I was actually going to tackle robocallers, all the spam calls that we continuously get on our cell phones now, even though we try to unsubscribe from them. However, by the time I did my final step, I decided to shift gears because my mother is aging and she's been a victim of identity theft a few times. I wanted to make it so that the issue I am tackling is trying to address the vulnerable populations that we have and how they keep falling susceptible to spam and giving up their information too easily, purchasing things that are not on verified sources, but still focused on those robocallers, just the angle of there's a lack of verification and validity for them. And because they're threat actors, they're getting away with so many things. I feel like we should be doing more to hold them accountable so that our vulnerable populations and folks who are just not used to those threat actors can feel a little bit more trusting and knowledgeable about the people that are calling them and contacting them for different information. So, as I mentioned, this is the repository that I had. This is what, um, and I can actually open up one of them here. So, this is my final version. It talks a little bit more about me and why I care so much, pretty much to what I just told you. The big piece here was how generative AI can help, and I'm really concentrating on how even an AI agent might be able to help with this situation, to help with the validity. Right now, our phones are really only taught to either silence or silence unknown calls or block specific ones. But the volume of robocallers and people pretending to be other companies is so massive that I feel like there's something more that AI can do. So it did generate some really great steps here that can help attack this issue. One thing I did take away is that AI is like super useful for creating a starting point, but the human editing is still so important. We still want to tweak things and talk about why we're passionate about things. and AI can't convey that passion unless you've talked to it at length about the issue, your relationship with those involved, and the fact that it bothers you almost. You have to feed it your emotions as well. So, I think this was meaningful and accurate. Thank you.